For some, Chet Hanks is best known for being the son of movie star Tom Hanks, or his various acting appearances and musical endeavors. But many people are familiar with Chet for his numerous public scandals. Here are some of Chet Hanks' most controversial moments. When Chet once described himself as the family black sheep, he was likely referring to the issues with substance abuse he experienced in his younger years. He's reportedly been sober since 2015 after a stint in rehab.
If I can change, you can change. There is a solution.
At that time, the Los Angeles Times reported on some videos he'd posted on social media, which have since been taken down, in which he bluntly admitted to becoming addicted to cocaine and crack. He said, "You know, at the end of the day, all that stupid shit I was doing, that's not who I am, that's not who I want to be. And it's been a long journey for me discovering who I am because of all the pressures that I've dealt with in my life. You know, being the son of my dad and everything, and just trying to find where I fit in." In a 2015 interview with Entertainment Tonight, he opened up about how the support of his parents helped him find his way towards sobriety. He admitted, "They couldn't be more supportive. Every step of the way. They've always been there for me, and I'm really lucky."
Was that sort of what all of a sudden made you wake up and realize I've got somebody else to live for?
That's pretty much single-handedly what it was.
If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact their national helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. In February 2015, prior to entering rehab, Chet was driving a car registered to his parents when he got into a fender bender. According to TMZ, he rear-ended a vehicle driven by a man named Terry Mugen, a career butler who had worked for stars like Clint Eastwood, Joan Rivers, and Oprah Winfrey. Mugen subsequently sued Chet's parents. In his suit, Mugen alleged that Chet had been driving in a reckless manner and was, quote, under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol at the time. Since the young man's parents had allowed him to drive, Mugen believed they should be held responsible for the injuries he allegedly suffered, supposedly, quote, whiplash and a brain injury from hitting his head on the dashboard. While Chet wasn't charged with DUI in the incident, Mugen's lawyers claimed Chet begged him not to call the police at the time. In 2018, Radar Online reported they reached a conditional settlement, but the details were not made public. Being mocked by Howard Stern is a rite of passage endured by pretty much every celebrity to land on the iconic radio broadcaster's radar. But when Chet became fodder for Stern's comedy, the budding young rapper didn't handle it very well. As People magazine reported, Stern goofed on Chet positioning himself as a hardcore rapper. In February 2011, he told his listeners, "Tom Hanks must be so annoyed. Where'd he grow up? Beverly Hills? What a When Chet's name came up unflatteringly in another radio conversation a few years later, the rapper lashed out on social media, outright threatening Stern. According to Radar Online, Chet tweeted a message to Stern alongside an emoji of a gun firing. He wrote, "You know I will you up, Howie, do you have any idea how badly I am going to assault you when I see you? You can't run from me forever. Listen, one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now, I am going to see you in person, and I am going to hurt you. I hope you travel with security. Please have me on the show." Over the years, Tom Hanks has faced some fearsome foes in his films, from battling the Illuminati in The Da Vinci Code to taking on the Nixon administration in The Post, to being taken hostage by Somali pirates in Captain Phillips. One other thing he can check off his bucket list is being mentioned in a rap beef, something that inexplicably occurred thanks to Chet's 2020 feud with rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. In a series of posts on his Instagram story, which had been saved and posted on Twitter, Chet took some shots at Tekashi 6ix9ine, who was imprisoned on racketeering and gun charges, but had managed to get his sentence reduced by testifying against some former gang members. Referring to his rival as a rat, Chet said, "Don't be fooled by social media. That dude is scared tactless, but has no choice but to laugh and make light of it because he knows he's a marked man for the rest of his life either way. According to the New York Post, the rapper responded, referencing Tom Hanks' recent COVID-19 diagnosis. Tekashi 69 responded in a comment, wishing his dad a speedy recovery. Chet had long been active on social media when he decided to step away from Instagram for a while in the fall of 2020. As Pop Culture reported, he posted a lengthy message to explain why he was planning to press the pause button on his social media. He explained, "Months of vile accusations from pro-Trump conspiracy theorists have been taking their toll on me mentally. To see such disgusting lies written about my family from people who really don't know reality from the internet." While Chet didn't detail those vile accusations, it's a safe bet they were coming from adherents of a certain bizarre conspiracy theory about Tom Hanks and a cabal. Chet added in his post, "It's been making me hostile and paranoid, which oddly enough is probably exactly how they feel." Chet eventually returned to social media, just in time for the November 2020 presidential election. That's also when he recorded himself discussing Donald Trump's election loss before speaking in a Jamaican accent, then posting the video on Instagram, which then made the rounds via Twitter.
Donald no one around but big boss man Biden?
Chet's video once again resulted in mockery and confusion from Twitter. One Twitter user joked, "Chet Hanks, one of our great white Jamaicans." Another asked what's going on with Chet, and yet another dragged his father into the fray, citing his dad's hit movie Castaway by quipping, "Tom Hanks must be wishing he never came back from that island." It's not the first time social media users have been shocked by Chet's use of the accent. One Twitter user responded to another video by writing, "I can't describe how deeply my soul has been disturbed." Another simply asked, "What in the hell is going on here?" Given ongoing discussions about systemic racism in the US, most people would probably hold off on declaring that the summer of 2021 was going to be a quote, white boy summer. Chet is not most people, and that's exactly what he did in an Instagram video he posted in March 2021. He said, "I just got this feeling, man, that this summer it's about to be a white boy summer. Take it how you want. I'm not talking about Trump NASCAR type white. I'm talking about, me, R&B singer John B, rapper singer Jack Harlow type white boy summer."
Let me know if you guys can vibe with that and get ready, because I am.
In a subsequent Instagram post, he clarified what white boy summer does not represent, saying, "You know what's not white boy summer? Having any ill will or prejudice toward anybody from a different background, race, walk of life than you. That's not white boy summer, dude. That's the we gotta elevate and get rid of straight up." Because the real vibe is having nothing but good vibes toward everybody. However, not everyone was buying that explanation. One Twitter user commented, "Chet saying white boy summer sounds like a racist dog whistle to me." Chet took his vision for white boy summer to the next level when he subsequently announced his plans to come out with his own line of white boy summer branded merchandise. While many found the whole concept of white boy summer to be ill-conceived and questionable, Chet's merch managed to receive even more criticism, thanks to the font used on his t-shirts and sweatshirts, which, as The Guardian reported, was a quote, Gothic-style font that is close to one used by white nationalists. That particular font bore a similarity to fonts that were used in Nazi Germany, most prominently on the cover of Hitler's Mein Kampf book. Not surprisingly, the unveiling of Chet's White Boy Summer merch generated a fair degree of controversy on social media. One Twitter user summed up the prevailing attitude by explaining that using that particular font made the logo look, quote, aggressively racist. In 2015, USA Today reported that Chet, who was then using the rap name Chet Haze, was hit by backlash when he used a racial slur in an Instagram post. Rather than apologize, Chet instead defended his use of the word. In a post that was later taken down, he wrote, "If I say the racial slur, I say it amongst people I love and who love me. And I don't accept society getting to decide what anybody can or can't say. That's something we call free speech." At the end of the lengthy note, he tacked on a straightforward sign-off, saying, "Either way, I'm going to keep living my life however I want. All love." So how was Chet's declaration accepted on social media? As you might guess, not too well. One critic tweeted, "Chet Haze is the main example of white privilege taking black culture for themselves." Another simply declared, "His ignorance and blatant stupidity is mind-boggling." When Chet and his girlfriend Kiana Parker split up in January 2021, their parting wasn't exactly amicable. In a video obtained by TMZ a few months later, Chet's ex is seen taking a swing at him just before the video goes black. When the video resumes, Chet has blood streaming down his face from an apparent wound on his forehead. According to a subsequent report in People magazine, Chet took his ex to court, suing her for theft, assault, conversion, and battery. In a statement to the publication, Marty Singer, the attorney representing Chet, said the couple broke up after Chet allegedly discovered she'd stolen money from him. Singer declared, "The day after Chet confronted Kiana Parker about stealing money from his credit card, while Miss Parker was accompanied by a huge male carrying a gun, she viciously attacked Chet with a knife, which caused him to profusely bleed. It is all on video, and the undisputed video tells the whole story. Her claims are completely false, fabricated, and fictional." According to TMZ, Parker denied Chet's accusations. There are two sides to every story, and that was definitely the case when it came to the altercation between Chet and Parker that led him to sue her for allegedly assaulting him. Parker, in fact, insisted that Chet was the aggressor in the incident. As the Houston Chronicle reported, Parker went to court to seek a protective order against Chet after she claimed there were a series of incidents that preceded their TMZ-documented blow-up. One of these, she claimed in an affidavit, took place while they were in New Orleans as Chet filmed the Showtime series Your Honor. During an argument, she alleged, Chet became aggressive and hostile and then threw a bottle at her and dragged her away from the door of their hotel room when she tried to leave. She also claimed he broke her phone and, quote, threatened to jump off a balcony if she left and called her a ghetto black b****. A judge granted Parker a temporary protective order against him. She subsequently launched a lawsuit of her own, according to USA Today, suing him for $1 million, alleging he, quote, mentally and physically and psychologically battered her. In a statement obtained by People magazine, attorney Marty Singer denied Parker's accusations. If you or someone you know is dealing with domestic abuse, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also find more information, resources, and support at their website.